Are you coming? Are you coming?
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Hello. Good afternoon. Hello. How are you all? And Anshu, it's your birthday today, Anshu? Happy birthday,
Yes,
Anshu.
sir. Thank you.
And that's why you went out doing social work. Huh? Please come in. Okay. So how old are you today? 28? Okay. I'm still not 100% okay. Our class was off, I think, for last 2 days, Friday and Saturday, right? Hmm. Okay.
Good
Hello,
afternoon.
Diana. Hello, Diana. Good afternoon. How are you? And now you're part of the group as well. I hope nobody is messaging you privately to disturb you. If anybody texts you, okay, privately and disturbs you, please message, tell me. Let me know.
Okay, I'm fine. And you?
Very well. Thank you. Very well.
Good afternoon, sir.
Hey, hello, Arpit. Good afternoon. Yes. Guys, give me 2 minutes. I'll be right back. I've got some inquiry there. Okay, with okay,
Okay, sir.
fine. Oh no, I'm free. I'm free. I'm fine. There is somebody to look after them. Okay, so I have shared the homework page with you. This is your homework for tomorrow. Last page of Unit 6. And now we are going to study Unit 7. This is your homework for tomorrow, okay? And now we are going to study Unit 7. We are starting Unit 7, everyone. First of all, in Unit 7, our focus will be on the same past simple. Past simple means subject plus the second form of the verb. The positive sentences don't confuse anybody. I went to school yesterday. This is past simple. Negative, I didn't go to school yesterday. That's past simple. I didn't go to school yesterday. Question. Did you go to school? Did you go to school yesterday? Hey, Ruxar,
Hello, sir. How are
how
you?
are you? I'm very well,
Yeah.
thank you. How's the weather in Dubai, in Abu Dhabi?
Good
Isn't
afternoon,
good
sir.
weather, sir?
Has it been raining there?
Uh, yeah, sir. Today.
Okay. It has been raining here for 2 days.
Yeah.
Yesterday was a wet day in a dry state. Okay. Dry state means, you understand? A wet day in a dry state. Dry state means, yeah, the state where liquor is not allowed. Dry state. Like Gujarat is a dry state. Bihar is a dry state. Here you cannot drink wine. It is illegal. So Bihar is a dry state. So I made a joke. A wet day in a dry state. Yesterday it was a wet day. It was raining a little bit, right? Okay. So guys, I'm going to very quickly tell you what you know already. Okay. You take the subject, whatever you want. I, you, they, we, whatever you want. And then you use the second form of the verb. And this is called the past tense. For example, I woke up. I woke up just 2 minutes ago. I woke up just 2 minutes ago, like that. It's past tense. I saw you at the park. Okay. Now, negative, you have the subjects, and then you use didn't. And the interesting part is, after didn't, you don't use V2 anymore. You go back to V1. When I was a child, I didn't speak English.
Good afternoon, sir.
I didn't speak English. Hello, good afternoon, Dharmendra. When I was a child, I didn't speak any English. In Hindi? Why are you silent? You don't understand what I'm saying?
बच्चा था मुझे अंग्रेजी नहीं आती
Interaction is important. When I was a child, I didn't speak any English. हम English नहीं बोलते थे. I
नहीं
didn't
बोलते
speak. Now compare.
इंग्लिश
When I was a child, I couldn't speak any English. I couldn't speak any English. So didn't speak and couldn't speak are slightly different. Slightly different. Couldn't talks about ability. मेरे में क्षमता ही नहीं थी इंग्लिश बोलने की, यानी इंग्लिश बोलना नहीं आता था. I couldn't speak English. I didn't have the ability. आता ही नहीं था. I couldn't speak English. I didn't speak English. हम इंग्लिश नहीं बोलते थे. Sometimes both the sentences have the same meaning. For example, this one. I could say, when I was a child, I couldn't speak English. When I was a child, I didn't speak English. Both the sentences convey the same message. Very much. In this context, whether I say I couldn't speak English or I say I didn't speak English, the message remains very much the same. Think about another. I didn't, yes, I didn't defeat him. I couldn't defeat him. I didn't defeat him. I couldn't defeat him. I didn't defeat him and I couldn't defeat him. मैं उसको हरा नहीं पाया, मैंने उसको नहीं हराया. ओके? तो मैं उसको हरा नहीं पाया मतलब मेरी चॉइस थी नहीं हराना. No, मेरी चॉइस नहीं थी, हम हरा नहीं पाया. I couldn't defeat him. I didn't defeat him could have that meaning. भाई हरा तो सकता था मैं, लेकिन मैंने उसे नहीं हराया. I didn't defeat him. I didn't talk to him. Another example. I didn't. मैंने उससे बात नहीं की. I didn't talk to him. I didn't talk to him. And I couldn't talk to him. I couldn't talk to him means I didn't have the courage. I didn't have the courage. I didn't have the confidence. I couldn't talk to him. I was nervous. I was shy. I couldn't talk to him. I didn't talk to him was like my decision. I didn't talk to him was more like a decision. I didn't talk to him. मैंने बात नहीं की. मतलब मैंने चुना नहीं करना बात. I decided not to talk. I didn't talk to him. I couldn't talk to him. Do you understand the difference a little bit? Okay. So couldn't talks about ability in the past, which we studied in the previous units. And didn't is simply past simple. I didn't talk to him. He didn't talk to me. Open the door for him. He didn't talk to me. He didn't talk to me. I felt bad. He didn't talk to me. Okay, I felt bad. He didn't talk to me. He couldn't talk to me. He was so sick. He was so sick. He was very sick. He was so sick, he couldn't talk to me. Wow. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Look at me, Samir. Look at me. And you turn the fan on for yourself. Amazing. Okay. Okay. Akansha, where are you? In Bard?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Nice fan, huh? So, questions. Take a look at this question. Yes, beta. Why? Why did you slap me? Why did you slap me? Q? Mara? Why did you slap me? Why did you slap me? Okay. Here, notice this arrangement, word order. You is the subject, slap is your verb, and because you're asking a question, you use the word did here before the subject. The person says, I slapped you. I slapped you because you abused me. Take a look here. I slapped you, but here no slapped. In the question, no slapped. Why did you slap me? Why did you slap me? I slapped you because you abused me. This person says, no, I didn't abuse you. I didn't abuse you. Abuse, not abused. I didn't. No, I didn't abuse you. There was some misunderstanding. I never abused you. I never abused you. I never, because when I use didn't, then I say abuse. But I'm saying I never abused you. I hope everybody understands how the form move. Sometimes V2 and most times V1. V2, when you are not using the auxiliary. When you use the auxiliary did, didn't, then you use the V1. You understand what is on your screen right now? Everybody understands this much?
Yes, sir.
So which question is correct? Did you love sweets or did you love sweets? Did you loved sweets or did you love sweets? Did you love sweets? When you were a child, did you love sweets? Okay, now do you still love sweets? Oh, great. All right. So now we have some exercises to do in the book after all this. Wait for a second. Take an interesting question, okay? Who saw you there? Who saw you there? Somebody saw you. Somebody saw you when you were stealing or doing something silly. Somebody saw you there, okay? Somebody saw you. Who saw you? I'm not using any did. Notice in this question. I'm not using any did. Who saw you? Why? Because in this sentence, you is not the subject. This you is not the subject. It is after the verb. saw you. In this sentence, you is the object. Do you understand the idea of the subject and the object? It depends on the verb, beta. You have a verb. You have a verb. Subject is on the left side and object is on the right side.
Right side.
Please. So this you is not the subject. It is the. Okay, let me write another question. Who saw me? Who saw me? Who saw me? Who saw me there? Somebody saw me. Okay, who was that person? Who saw me? Notice, who is the subject? Who is the, and who is also the question word? Who is doing two jobs here? Who is a question word and who is also the subject? If you compare it with this sentence, why did you slap me? Here, why is the question word and you is the subject. Two different words. You is the subject, why is the question word. And that's why we have did here. Did you slap? Did you? And here, who is the question word and who is the subject? So who saw you there? I'll try to give you a few more examples. Let me help you a little more with this idea. Okay. So I'm writing two sentences. Who does want a bike? Now, which sentence is correct, guys? The first or the second?
Second.
No, Diana. The second is not correct, sweetie. The first is correct.
Yes, sir.
Who wants a bike is correct. Who does want a bike is not correct because does and want are together. Normally, what happens when you use the word does, then you have a subject and then you use a verb, right? So this is not a good sentence in English, dear students. This is a good sentence. Who wants a bike? Right? Let me write another sentence for you guys. Which is the correct question? The first or the second?
Second.
Second, sir.
First, I think.
First.
First.
Sarah?
First.
First.
The first is the correct or the second is the correct sentence?
First is correct.
First is correct.
First.
Which is correct? The first is correct. What does
Yes,
he
sir.
want?
What
This
does
is
he
not
want?
correct. Because here, Diana, the subject is he. And you can't make a question in the present simple with he wants. You have to remove this S and put does here. Got it? So the first one was correct. So you have to understand, does come before the subject. Similarly, in the past, we use which is the correct question? The
What
first
did
or
he
the
want?
second? The first. What did he want? उसको क्या चाहिए था? उसको? What did he want? What did he want? Why did he come here? Why did he come here? What did he want? Take a look at this here. Look at the questions. The 20th century quiz. Look at the questions and look at the answers. When did Henry Ford sell the first Model T motor car? We don't know the answer. No problems. Let's guess an answer. Let's guess the answer is 1903. Let's think that the answer is 1908, something, okay? How do we answer this question? Form a sentence. When did Henry Ford sell the Model T motor car? Henry Ford, take a look here.
Sold.
Henry, yes.
Henry Ford sold the first model motor car in 1903.
Henry Ford sold. Because in the past, did Henry Ford sell will become Henry Ford sold. In positive sentence, in a positive sentence, did Henry Ford sell will change into Henry Ford sold. Henry Ford sold the first Model T motor car in whatever. We are not here for general knowledge. We are here for English. So it doesn't matter. But we got the sentence right. Did you see the pattern? The connection between question and positive sentences? Henry Ford sold the first Model T motor car in 1903, in 1908, and stuff like that. Number two. Hey, number two. Number two. When was the first talking movie, The Jazz Singer? When was the first talking movie, The Jazz Singer? Okay, this sentence, my dear students, has verb be here. It has be verb, was. So the subject is after be verb. When was the first talking movie, The Jazz Singer? So what will you say? The answer? The first talking movie, The Jazz Singer, was in 1903, in 1915, in 1927. Understand how subject and verb move in a question and a positive sentence. Understand the relation between a positive sentence, a statement, and a question sentence. The purpose of this exercise is to help you understand the connection, the relation between a question sentence and a statement. This is a question sentence. When was the first talking movie, The Jazz Singer? When was the first talking movie, The Jazz Singer? The answer is the first talking movie, The Jazz Singer, was. Be verb changes its position, dear students. You have to bring it back. to the normal position. The first talking movie, the jazz singer, was whatever in 1927, in 1915. Okay, let's look at number 3. Okay, number 3. When did Einstein publish his theory of relativity? Then the answer will start with the word. Which word will start the sentence? Einstein. The subject starts the sentence, right? Einstein is the subject because can you see did Einstein? So Einstein is your subject. So we will say Einstein. Next word, published. The B2 form in answer. Einstein published. You. Go closer. Beta, thoda move a little bit to your left. That's enough. You go closer. Go closer. Sit closer. Okay. Pay attention. When did Einstein publish his theory of relativity? When we ask this question, when did Einstein publish his theory of relativity? Okay, so we answer Einstein published. The verb is publish. Always these three words are always together. Did, and then the subject, and then the verb. We always have them together. In the present, we have do, does, the subject, and the verb. So the subject and the verb remain together in the statement. Einstein published what? His theory of relativity in 19 something, 50 years ago, 60 years ago, 100 years ago. Do you have any idea when? Make a guess. Make a guess. Blind guess. Make a blind guess. Doesn't matter. Okay. Einstein published his theory of relativity about, okay. Got it? That was your blind guess. Maybe your answer was wrong, but your English was correct. Number 4. Look at number 4. When was the Russian Revolution? Again, this is a sentence with be verb. When was the Russian Revolution? Very good, very good. You are getting there. Answer. What will you start the sentence with? The Russian Revolution was. Right, beta? Easy. When was the Russian Revolution? The Russian Revolution was in da 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 da. Number 5. Take a look at the sentence. Look at the sentence question. When was the first non-stop flight around the world? When was the first non-stop flight around the world? So we will start our sentence, answer sentence with the first non-stop flight around the world was about. The answer is not our concern. Our concern is the language of English, right? How we use the English language. Look at number 6, dear students. How many people died in the Second World War? How many people died in the Second World War? Okay, everybody, I would like to ask you a very pointed question. When you start the answer, what will be your first word? No.
About
No, beta,
video.
yes, you will start with the answer this time, beta, because your question is about the subject. Please understand. Who respects me? I'm asking you. Who respects me most? Okay? Who respects me most? So my question is about the subject, beta. So suppose the answer is Asim, okay? Then I'll say Asim respects me most. Understand? So Asim is the first word because Asim is the subject here. So the question is, how many people died? How many people died? We are not using did here. Notice. Okay? How many people died? How many people died in the Second World War? You could say A, B, C, whatever, about 20 million, about 60 million, about 80 million people died. Okay? However, if you want, you can say it this way as well. In the Second World War, 20 million people died. Okay, you can do that, no problems. In the Second World War, 20 million people died, 60 million people died, 80 million people died. Let's look at number 7. When did the Berlin Wall come down? When did the Berlin Wall come down? The Berlin Wall come down? No, not come down. Down. When we answer, we use the second form of the verb. Now, when did the Berlin Wall come down? Did the Berlin Wall come down? So in the answer, it will be the Berlin Wall came down. The Berlin Wall came down in 1945, 75, 89, one of the answers. Number 8. On what date in 1969, on what date in 1969 did man first land on the moon? Did man first land on the moon? Please understand the subject and the verb, okay? On what date in 1969 did man first land on the moon? The subject here is, the subject is always after did. If you have did, then the subject is always after did. Take a look here. Did man. Your subject is man. So your answer will be man first landed. Did and land will come together, right? And we will say landed. Man first landed on the moon on the 20th of July, on the 3rd of May, on the 13th of August. Okay? Man first landed on the moon. Okay? Land on the moon means you understand. Man landed on the moon. If you have vocabulary problem, please ask me. Because I don't think anybody has vocabulary problems right now. But if anybody has vocabulary issues, if you don't understand a word or two, please ask me. I'll help you. I'm trying to explain the idea of subject and verb again in the past simple. In the relation between a statement and an interrogative sentence. An interrogative sentence and a statement are two different things. They're related. They are related. Let's look at number 9. How many number 1 hits did the Beatles have in the UK? How many number 1 hits did the Beatles have in the UK? Now, in this sentence, okay, compare sentence number 6 and number 9. They are different. They look very similar, but they're different. How many people died? How many number 1 hits did the Beatles have? Did the Beatles have? Now, please understand, what is the subject?
The details.
How many number one hits did the Beatles have? Have you figured out the subject? The subject is the Beatles. I'm very happy with those students who are getting this answer right, because remember, this did is a clue for you. Did comes before the subject. Did the Beatles, and the verb is have. So when you answer, you say the Beatles had. Did and have in the past in question. When you answer, you use the second form, and the second form of have is had. The Beatles had 12, 17, 27 number one hits in the UK. If you want, you can say in the UK, you can say in the UK first, no problems. In the UK, the Beatles had 17 number one hits, 12 number one hits, 27 number one hits. And by the way, if you don't understand the context, let me explain. When a band makes a song, okay, then how much the people in that country like the song. That's how you decide a list, popularity list. Which song is number one, which song is number two, which song is number three. Okay, this is decided by some data they collect, how many cassettes they have bought, how many downloads nowadays. Nowadays, people download songs, okay, and play songs on places like Spotify and Ghana.com, and there are other apps as well where people listen to music. So they decide which song is number one. Okay, number one hits means number one song here, okay? How many number one hits did the Beatles have in the UK? All right, very nice. Doesn't matter, the answer doesn't matter. Whether you say 12 or 17 or 27, it's totally fine. Number 10, when did the 20th century end? Again, whenever you see this kind of sentence, you should understand, when did the 20th century end? Your answer will start with the word subject. The 20th century. The 20th century. And the next word will be ended. Very well done. Ended. In affirmative, we use the V2. End becomes ended. The 20th century ended, बाकी आगे बोल दो, at midnight on A or B, whatever, the 31st of December 1999 or 31st of December 2000, which is the right answer? I would like to know from you. What do you guys think? A or B? When did the 20th century end?
B.
You don't know? Not sure about it? It should be. This is not a general knowledge question. This is a very question of common sense, guys. The answer is B. The 20th century ends with 2000, beta, and 2001 is the first year of the 21st century.
21.
Okay, 2000, the year of 2000 was the last year of the 20th century. Think about it. 1 to 100, first century. 101, the second century. When you score 100, then it is called a century. And then 101 is the first run of the second century, right? Similarly, the 20th century ended with 2000, the 31st of December.